SBC Media.
Welcome to iGaming Daily, analysing the news from the betting and gaming industry all over the globe. Supported by SBC Summit Barcelona, the industry-leading conference bringing you the future of sports betting and iGaming.
SBC Summit Barcelona is the fastest growing sports betting and iGaming event in the industry, happening on the 19th to the 21st of September. Experience the entire global industry coverage under one roof, with 15,000 delegates, over 350 exhibitors, and so much more. Get your tickets now at sbcevents.com.
Hello and welcome. So on iGaming Daily, our main aim is to, in a way, deliver you the biggest news stories of the day and dissect them where we can. However, it's also a platform to raise attention and awareness to other things happening and circulating throughout the iGaming sector. And today, we'll be dipping our toes into the affiliate space, something we've not really done that much on iGaming Daily, sponsored by SBC Summit Barcelona. And I have the pleasure of again welcoming Natalie Lees to her second episode of iGaming Daily. And we have a debut for IGD. That's the new abbreviation for iGaming Daily for everyone who hasn't heard that before. We'll try and get that trending. We have Julian Pitts, SBC's Senior Affiliate Relationship Manager. Welcome, both of you, to the podcast. How are you both doing? Natalie, we'll go with you.
Thank you. I'm good, thank you. Glad to be back.
It's glad to have you back. I always say it's an absolute pain to get you on this podcast just because of how busy you are. So I appreciate you coming into the studio, and we'll cross each other today.
Yeah, I get to see your face today. I was at home last time.
You really didn't sound enthusiastic about that at all.
Thanks.
Oh, your sarcasm has just come right through this. And let's not forget Julian, who sadly, he was going to be with us in the studio today, but those pesky train cancellations has prevented Julian from joining us today. But he's joined us remotely. How are you doing, Julian? Are you okay?
Surviving, and honoured to be here in at least some capacity.
Perfect. No, it's good to have you. And again, I've mentioned we're going to dip our toe into the affiliate space, and we're actually going to be talking a little bit about affiliate leaders as well. And Julian, I'm going to say this is your baby essentially, but I think the best way to kick off this podcast is for the listeners to actually get to know you yourself, maybe a little bit about Natalie as well, for a refresher course. But first off, actually, no. What is affiliate leaders? That's probably a better way to start this. What is affiliate leaders before we get into you, Julian?
So, affiliate leaders, in a nutshell, it is a non-elitist, fully inclusive, year-round community. Mm-hmm. It is for affiliates that want to be a leader of their own industry and community, and they do that now by collaborating with their peers and keeping each other up to date and genuinely protecting one another through both personal and shared interests. Affiliate leaders, it also gives affiliates greater access to the resources that we have across the SBC portfolio. And this way we are supporting our affiliate leaders in their own journey, whether they are sort of brand new to the industry or really well established.
Cool. May have jumbled that up at the start there, so we'll actually get to know the guest a little bit more now and their roles. And for Julian specifically, but Natalie, you've been working as a conference producer senior conference producer now, but you've been working as a conference producer for probably around the last 4 or so years. And you've seen kind of the state of kind of the affiliate sector really over that time and kind of how the trends have changed. So I'll come to you after Julian, but Julian, can you just expand a bit on your role as a senior affiliate relationship manager and kind of how that kind of fits into affiliate marketing?
Yeah, so essentially, I'm the link between the affiliates we have within the SBC sort of universe, if you will, and then SBC's wider teams, essentially to ensure that they get the most value and ROI from anything that they do here with us, as I say, with the vast kind of portfolio. So if an affiliate wants to look at what their options are at SBC, I can then introduce them to the most relevant person within our business. Mm-hmm. And of course, I also ensure they are aware of and kept up to date with our events calendar. And I do this by building a relationship with them and then finding out what it is they're really looking for when attending the event and gathering the information I need to better curate a list of our events that are most relevant to them. And I feel, to be honest, that's kind of the key piece to a relationship role. You could argue any role in fairness, but it's essentially that people feel listened to and know you have their best interest at the forefront.
Mm. And Natalie, we're going to jump to you here. You've, again, I stated it before Julian's question, that you've been in the conference scene for over 4 years. And over that time, the affiliate kind of sector is kind of changed since then. But what challenges... Well, actually, no, before we actually do that, explain a bit about your role, because this will add some context to this next question. Your day-to-day role and conference week role.
No week's the same, for starters. But in terms of where it relates to conferences and affiliates, my biggest task has been to give value to not only affiliates, affiliate managers, and to bring in the streamers as well, some of the new blood that we're seeing coming into the industry, and research, have conversations, work with Julian and the affiliate managers to basically listen to some closed door discussions and put that content in front of people, give them a place to come to our events, to network, and really lead the future of our events.
Mm-hmm. And you dipped your toe in it a little bit there about some challenges, but what would you say the biggest challenges have been for you over the years when it comes to affiliates and integrating them into kind of events like your job?
When I first came into doing the conference aspects of our events, I tend to find that we had a lot of affiliate managers that were talking about affiliation, and we didn't really hear too much from the actual affiliates. Over the time, we've seen a period of affiliates being integrated in bigger networks. You find a lot more independent affiliates that have been bought. So you see more and more that now we've shifted the content so that people have more value. We've got bigger tracks. We've got some of the biggest affiliates that are speaking, and it's just evolved.
Mm-hmm. And on kind of evolution, how and why has this kind of evolved over recent years?
Oh, Julian, help me out here.
Well, look, this is for me. So I was originally working on casino beats and slot beats, and kind of one of my main areas were slots and slot streamers.
Mm-hmm.
They've become so much more prominent, even since I entered the industry in start of 2020, February 2020, I think it was. And even now they've started to become more of a presence, certainly kind of their integration with the supplier side of things.
Yeah.
And even if you look more recently, Fruity Slots, they've just launched Dream Spins with Light and Wonder, and they've now a studio or game developer, which is insane to think about. So, yeah, Julian, we'll go with you. How has this evolved, and why has this evolved? How has it come to be?
I think when you hone in on the streamer aspect, it's because it's a refreshing angle. I feel it's something where when you look at a streamer, they truly are the individual that they are. So they are more, let's say this, even though it is slightly dramatic, accountable for what's going out there. If you look at traditional affiliation, you know, the owners of the businesses and the people who work for it can, in a nice kind of way, I mean, is hide behind the website, because it's not.
Oh yeah, the streamers are the face.
There you go. So the streamer is really putting themselves out there, essentially, so they know that they really have to kind of not just protect themselves, but kind of they're going to want to have a good reputation and a good name about it. So that in itself is a real interesting pull for an operator to work for them, and obviously from the games providers as well. it's kind of rolling it all into one, and it gets those three key stakeholders, supplier, operator, and affiliate, kind of linked together. And like I say, because then that ultimately falls upon the streamers being their unique self to deliver this. It's fresh, isn't it?
I think to go on as well from that, it's bringing a freshness to people and stuff. It's entertainment. We really do have streamers that are pure entertainers, and it's connecting the players and that proof of concept straight to the suppliers as well.
Again, my main background over the years had been slots. So streamers were my go-to affiliate. So I don't know who wants to tackle this one. It's just going to be a list. Can you just name me, act like I'm a 5-year-old, well, not a 5-year-old, act like I'm an 18-year-old because responsible gambling. Can you name me a list of other types of affiliates, Julian?
Well, yeah, I think obviously the main one that traditionally stands out is your comparison sites. That really has been over the years rather. That's the bread and butter because it's the easiest, most direct way, or has been, to the player. As time has gone on, that's now developed more into content based rather than just a comparison site with, 10 links or whatever it is to each individual casino or sports book. You're now seeing it like that. Now we're moving into the advancement of the way technology is going. You're now seeing this kind of AI side of it start to come into it. And so what comes with that is you have a lot of affiliates now where they kind of have their in-house tech. They have their ecosystem of players and they know that they can sort of, I had a good example recently where there's a certain, affiliate in Brazil, and it's really interesting because they have this in-house tech, and essentially what it is, they white label Telegram programs, or channels rather. And what the operator will do is obviously purchase that. They have their own channel, and then what they do in-house is send this traffic to this new channel. So it's a full cycle. And it's a really interesting concept because it's you can really rinse and repeat that. So those are kind of the main three, I would say.
It's really interesting, isn't it? How much even sort of like the content comparisons and things like that, how the change in socials and how content is delivered to players or to people now and how we engage with things has done like a full 360. So we're very video led, very like we watch a lot. That interaction is very human rather than text based now.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a very good point. I think if you look at anything, obviously not just in the gambling industry, but further afield across like video games and all that kind of stuff, it is, as Nat says, it's humanizing what it is that we all kind of do in our own spare time. But then when you see a community of people doing it online, I think, it gives that element where it's you're sharing your entertainment then. Do you know what I mean? It becomes less introvert because, like I say, the key thing to what anyone really does is being included or part of a community, because then what that always leads to is people essentially helping each other out. And I think that's look at it from, let's call this the sportsbook tipsters, if you will.
So I think kind of hone in on your kind of word there, community.
Yeah.
And let's bring this back to affiliate leaders in a way, because that's essentially what affiliate leaders is. It's its own community of affiliates coming together and a nice little hub for them. So kind of just for the listeners out there, or even the future affiliates as part of affiliate leaders, Julian, just explain to, again, the listeners, what features are actually on offer as part of affiliate leaders.
Well, so the key thing that we've introduced recently was the affiliate leaders Telegram group. Now, you could argue this is kind of the beta stage for what we actually want to do with it, and that will fall in line in good time, because what we will do is essentially migrate that onto the website, because what we will do, and not to reveal it all too soon, but
give us a sneak peek.
Yeah. Well, the website will essentially be the home of the community.
Okay.
And what that does, it gives them access to one another, access to the latest news, and also access to us here at SBC. Because as you know, we're not simply events. We don't just put stuff on 4 times a year and then see you at the next one. So it's going back to what I was saying earlier. It is that year-round approach where this community knows that, I always make this rubbish joke, but any day except from Christmas and my birthday, they can.
That was a rubbish joke.
Yeah, but he was at Casino Beats for his birthday.
Yeah,
so.
it's actually online.
Not complaining.
It really is with Christmas Day. But yeah, it's just about that. It's about affiliates knowing that we have their best interests, and to further on it. So once this all comes into place, we'll start doing more kind of real company profiling, but also individual profiling for people across the website, seeing what value we bring to them. Nat will obviously double down on this, but when they are an affiliate leader, they kind of, we tested this for Barcelona, is having them in the initial discussions around the conference agenda. Because again, what I think that really does, it brings them to the front, because then they're sort of like, well, look, I had a hand in this. It's a lot more personable, isn't it? Rather than kind of going into an event blind, if you will. They know that they had, be it a small piece or a big influence. But then you're more attached to it. And then you think, well, okay, I actually want to be there, from that more personal side, opposed to simply the business side. And I think that's what we really try and do here is to repeat what Nat was saying in a different, context, albeit is humanize everything. And that's really what it is with affiliate leaders. So those are kind of those key features. It's the networking all year round, the networking at our events, because we have obviously the affiliate leaders lounge this year in Barcelona, which is of course sponsored by Bet365. And like I say, in the longer term, it's being able to know that they have the access to our portfolio as well as their own little home space on our website. So
you did forget one feature, and that is the closed door discussion that our affiliate leaders get to spend a full hour talking rubbish with me and you.
Yeah, I mean,
how could you forget that, Julian?
Well, I was actually going to try and maneuver this so that Nat could have presented that, but of course she beat me to it. So now I have to backtrack and regret my words. But no, it is true, and that kind of falls in line. It was a good one that we held. We also had Masha on with us.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And the reason it was cool, because it was the first one we had done. And as you know, this kind of stemmed from the Telegram group. We arranged it through there and just wanted to, like I say, test and see the engagement and see what affiliates are going to use this sort of instant community for, if you will. And I have to say, it was the opening first few minutes, that people are going to be a little bit hesitant to be the ones that go first, let's say, and open up. But Nat, Masha and I actually spoke straight afterwards, and we said it was really quite cool how open they all were, and I think that is testament to what we are doing, and the message that we obviously relay to the affiliate leaders is we have got your back here. It's not for us to gather notes and share it externally. It's all in house.
one of the reasons we were really grateful of everybody sharing in that closed door discussion and being so open was thank you, because the conference agenda now for Barcelona is amazing, even if I do say so myself. But actually, it's just testament to all the pain points that affiliates feel, want to know about, want to learn about, and that is all stemmed from that conversation. So really, it's all about listening to the industry and what it is, as open as they'll be. That's the gist of it.
Mm-hmm. And time's ticking, so we need to wrap up a little bit, but I just want to ask a few more important questions for me. So kind of let's look into our crystal ball. I love getting the crystal ball out on this podcast. Let's look into the future. Can you foresee affiliates becoming big influential leaders within this iGaming space, like we already see now in other sectors? And how do you think it'll happen?
Well, I say they already are.
Yeah,
I say they already are.
Honestly, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not being cliche here. That was one of my notes. Is they already are, and they have been for a while. I think the real call it a discrepancy. I'm sure there's a better word here from maybe why that isn't so obvious is because with what following on from what Nat is or has been saying is they're not, or maybe have not always been on the stage.
Yeah.
Talking. So you haven't had the words given to you. But when you look at the actual influence they really have on an operator's P&L, if you want to put it like that, affiliates are huge.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the change in dynamic, is the more awareness that the operators have, and obviously they all know it, let's say in-house, again, to repeat, but on that wider sort of, like you say, long-term vision and scale, I think with what Nat and the guys are doing on that conference side of it, it's growing year on year. The willingness from affiliates to kind of say, well, no, we want to be on stage now and kind of share our story. That's going to be the key difference. Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of, they've been silent leaders, if you will.
Yeah, and you've hinted at this next question, Julian, which is good, and I think it's a really good way to lead this towards our conclusion. Now, you've been working on SBC Summit Barcelona. You know, it's fast approaching. We've just said, well, Julian just stated that these are silent leaders in a way. How are you going to make that silent leader more vocal when it comes to kind of what you plan at Barcelona?
We've got a killer lineup, and we've got some super affiliates that's there. We've got different formats. They're talking not only leading from why in emerging markets you should utilize affiliates and not see them as somebody that you shouldn't be trusted. You should implement them as part of your strategy to go into a new market. But we've got sessions that is do's and don'ts of affiliation. We've got SEO, and we've got an Ask Me Anything. We've got people, or affiliates, should I say, that are willing to sit up on the stage and go, come on, ask me anything. Pick your questions. And I think that's such an open and beneficial way to come into the industry.
I think as well with that, Nat, just to round it off, the nice bit about that with the Ask Me Anything, it goes back to what I was saying about essentially being silent leaders. It also shows how confident they are about who they are and what they know, and quite rightly so. But it's it's an interesting concept.
I'll just say, Julian, I'm the host, so I'll round it off.
There you go. Right, come on. See you later.
There's a dictatorship on the iGaming Daily podcast today, and I'll round it off with one more question to you. Moving forward, what's your hopes for affiliate leaders?
For the community to be ran by the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're setting the foundations for affiliates to be well connected so that they look out for each other and the industry. So we have to put the tools in front of them in order for them to carry it out. And it might sound a bit kind of, I don't know, far-fetched on the surface of it, but it's already happening in terms of affiliates coming together. And we're actively seeing that in the group with the kind of stuff that Nat talked about with this closed door discussion. So yeah, it's about putting the measures in place to ensure that we provide our affiliate leaders with a real community platform. And that will bring the community closer together. And from this, as our current affiliate leaders already know, we can keep improving our value proposition for affiliates, not only at the events, but all year round.
Perfect. So affiliate leaders is set to become the Libertalia of the affiliate space. If anyone knows that pirate reference, well done.
Absolutely.
No. Libertalia was a cove, a hidden cove of pirates where everyone was treated equally and had an equal voice. And that was that.
Oh, I've learned something new today.
Well, it was a myth because it's never been found, but a rumor.
We'll put it in the tagline on the website, don't worry.
Thanks.
You can use that one as well if you'd like. Perfect. Okay, I'll wrap this up. So, Natalie, Julian, thank you for joining me on today's podcast. For the listeners out there, I will include any and every link related to SBC Summit Barcelona and the affiliate space and affiliate leaders in the description below. So you can click on that, check it out, and enjoy what you read, I suppose. And again, to the listeners out there, thank you for joining iGaming Daily, sponsored by SBC Summit Barcelona. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of iGaming Daily, brought to you in conjunction with SBC Summit Barcelona, being held at the Fira Barcelona Montjuic on the 19th to the 21st of September. If you want to find out more about some of the subjects raised today, feel free to explore any of the sites in the SBC News Network, or check out the latest edition of the SBC Leaders magazine. Happy reading.